What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and in this video I'm going to be giving guys my stat speculations and also the first impression of these Halloween units that we're going to be getting this year. And upon seeing Dheginsea in the preview, I was just so excited. So the first unit we have is a female Grima, and she is a flying green dragon. So we haven't really got too many flying dragons as of late, but this banner has got 2 of them. And Robin completely power creeps, or I guess this female Grima completely power creeps Legendary Grima because she's got a better slotted skill, just better stats probably, and much better weapon that has got more than just distant counter. So Moonless Breath has got distant counter built into it. If unit is within 2 spaces of an ally and deals damage using a special, then she recovers 30% of her maximum HP. So this is really similar to Brave Claude. And I thought that Brave Claude was really unique, and for a while we wouldn't have this kind of unit who would have the same healing as him from his weapon. But here is female Grima with that same thing, but instead of Claude's 50% healing, she only gets 30% healing. So that is something to consider, and this is going to be really good actually when you combine it with specials like Noontime or Moonbow and stuff like that. So definitely pretty nice for a tank. She's got Dragon Scale, which just gets rid of the flying weakness that she's got, just like Dragon Skin does. If foe is at full HP or in the enemy phase, she is able to inflict -6 attack and resistance debuff on the foe, and she gets +1 special cooldown per foe's attack. So this is again pretty similar to Owain's Mistletoe or Brave Dimitri's Moon Gradavis. So you can basically retaliate back with a 2-turn special instantly. And the debuff that she could do during the combat to the enemy is definitely going to be helping her a lot. And then we've got a new skill, Dragon's Ire. So this skill gives you basically half of null follow-up and also a better quick riposte. So if you're above 50% health, it neutralizes effects that can prevent units' follow-up attacks. For example, impact effects, Blazing Durandal, which Eliwood carries, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. So it's basically a much better quick riposte, and you can also get past stuff like impacts, which is really useful for a tank especially, because many times tanks are gonna be slow and they rely on skills like quick riposte to double attack. But impact skills can just stop that if you're not fast already and also running quick riposte. So this could be a really nice toy for a lot of dragon units. Mur is definitely gonna be enjoying this, but I'm excited to see if it's gonna be locked to like flying dragons or any kind of dragon can get this. Because if any kind of dragon can get this, then this is a really nice thing for a lot of people who built up dragons in the good old days. So this is definitely going to be a new toy for them to use. So overall, she appears to be a pretty solid tank. She's got consistent healing from Moonless Breath. She can also reduce damage with Dragon Scale and can retaliate back with specials instantly, which really helps because flying units and flying dragons in general don't really have any kind of way of getting the special charges. So she's got that in Dragon Skill, and her weapon is just really solid too for healing. So by looking at this base kit, I kind of think that she's going to be slow because Dragon's Ire is basically going to be giving her quicker post, and here she also gets doubled by the blue flyer. So I did calculate stats based on this combat, and I think she's going to be having pretty high base attack of 40, and she is going to be having good mixed bulk, and it depends how much they min-max her. If they just decide to give her middling speed, then she's at least going to be having this much speed. But this could go really low if they want to min-max her, honestly. So Grima is just going to be taking out this blue flyer, prepare to be eaten. So down goes that blue flyer. And then we have got Xane. Oh my god. This might actually be one of the most unique units added into the game. So he's a colorless infantry mage, and he has got a really unique tome. He's also a 4-star focus unit on this banner, which makes it even better. So he's the kind of unit that you only need 1 copy of, honestly. And merges are not really too needed on him. So he has got Joker's Wild. This gives him +5 HP, and for a good reason. And he basically copies stats of the allies within 2 spaces. And these are respective stats copied. So for example, if he has got a Layla in 2 spaces of him, then he copies her attack and speed. And if he has got a Sheena who has got Fortress Defense Res and she's got a lot of bulk, then he copies her defensive stats. So you can basically combine the offenses of Layla and defenses of Sheena and basically be a big ball of stats essentially himself. So he's kind of like Ditto, honestly, from Pokemon. If you have played Ditto, the only stat that Ditto cannot copy is your HP stat, and it's kind of same with Xane here. And he appears to be a really interesting unit because there are just so many options you could do with him. You could make him insanely bulky, or you could make him insanely offensive, or even both actually. If you run like a support unit like this, for example, with Male Korin, he's just a big ball of stat because of Yado Weapon Refine, and he can also provide support to Xane. So Xane can get so many stats, and he just has so much potential. He's just so flexible and seems like such a fun unit to use. It's just really impressive, and I'm really happy that he's a 4-star focus unit. So this is going to be really interesting to use, and I cannot wait to get him. He's got Reposition, Attack Resist Form, and Infantry Hexblade. So Hubert had that kind of value with Infantry Hexblade, but now he doesn't even have that. Attack Resist Form is whatever. I guess you could run skills like which increases stats during the combat, like Attack Resist Form, push skills, or solo skills. You could definitely try to run those kinds of things. And for his HP and for his IVs, like plus HP is gonna be pretty nice to HP stack on him. As you can see, he's got pretty high HP. So basically, just want to HP stack him, and he can copy the other stats anyways. So the only stat which matters for him is really HP at the end of the day. So even like an unmerged Xane is gonna be really powerful. He's not necessarily a unit that you have to plus and merge unless you wanna use him in arena or something like that. So even just one-off copy of him is gonna be really nice, and IVs don't really matter too much as long as you don't get like minus HP IV, you should be good. So for his stat spread, I am expecting something like this, honestly. So he has got 47 HP as we could see, and he gets extra 5 HP from the tome, and he's gonna be having low attack stat, honestly, low defense. It doesn't really matter, honestly, his other stats. But his resistance, I guess, could matter, because if you're gonna be using him in Ether Raids, he might be facing some AoE specials, so there he's gonna be taking that damage based off his visible resistance. And another downside, I guess, to this kind of thing is that a lot of times these units with extremely high stats are gonna be really vulnerable to getting hit by shrine structures or chill skills. So if those units who Xane is copying the stats from get chilled attack or just get debuffed, then Xane is also gonna be getting affected because he's copying their stats. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind, honestly, with Xane. But just such a really unique unit, and just the novelty factor of him makes him just so interesting. So very much impressed by how they handled Xane. It's really amazing, honestly. And he's a 4-star focus unit on top of that, and a colorless infantry mage. So many unique things just stacked onto a single unit. And then we have got Dheginsea. I got so excited. Dheginsea was a unit which a lot of people wanted as a mythic unit, but he appeared on the Halloween banner first, which is a bit weird. So he's a red armor dragon, and they completely disrespected my big man because he doesn't have a preferred skill, doesn't have any kind of preferred weapon. He just has an inheritable breath. Now this breath is actually pretty good. So Blackfire breath basically gives -5 attack and resistance debuff on the foe, and also neutralizes their bonuses to attack and resistance if he's not adjacent to an ally. So it's kind of like a lull skill, which is pretty great because armor units cannot have access to lull skills. So it's basically like a better lull skill that has a condition where you have to be away from our allies and not be adjacent to them, which is definitely going to be a bit annoying for him because he's an armored dragon. So something like Armored Stride is probably going to be a bit better for him. Or if you just buff him up with Armor March, then you gotta make sure that he's away from his allies. So this breath can definitely be pretty nice for other dragons if you want to use it. The solo condition is gonna be a bit annoying at times, but that could be solved with the breath of Ena, or Ina, as you'll see. So he has got Draconic Aura, Sturdy Stance, and Slick Fighter. Slick Fighter is a new skill, so if you're above 25% health, it neutralizes penalties on the unit, and the unit can make a guaranteed follow-up attack. So it's basically a better quick riposte that can neutralize the debuffs. And this is really great because armor units are a big ball of stats because of their high BST. So they're always going to be susceptible to getting hit by chill skills and shrine structures and stuff like that. And in Ether Raids, this is definitely going to be pretty invaluable if you use like an armor tank, because you can just ignore any kind of debuffs, which is honestly really great. So that is Dheginsea, and his sprite is, oh my god, probably the best sprite in the entire game. Just look at it. So tall, so huge, and he's gonna be triggering his Draconic Aura, and I'm gonna be calculating the stats based on that. So this is what I think Dheginsea is gonna be. So very high attack, base 44 attack, at least I think, and really good mixed bulk and pretty low speed. Kinda what you'll expect out of a armored tank really in this day and age, and of course 185 BST. So that is gonna be Dheginsea. Really happy to see him, but just wish that they gave him like a preferred weapon or something, because come on man, he really deserves that. You're really gonna do him like that. And then we have got Harmonic, Ninian and Tiki. I really wish like Ninian was in front and was the one fighting instead of Tiki. But this is a blue flying dragon that we have got. So again, Harmonic heroes are going to be useful in resonant battles to get more score, and this could really matter if you want to reach interval 21 to get extra Ivy Mangoes, or if you want to stay in interval 21. So, you know, resonant battles is definitely going to be the place where you could use them, I guess, for scoring purpose. I really like the fact that Ninian is cosplaying as Naga. I think she's cosplaying as Naga. So they have got Frostfire Breath. It's effective on dragon units and gives her +3 attack. And if any kind of bonus is present on the unit, then it grants them +6 attack and +6 speed during the combat. And it also gives them more attack based on the total buffs they have got on their defense and resistance times 1.5. So basically, she's got with everyone, you're gonna be getting +5 to your defense, +5 to their resistance. You add up that, you end up with 10, you multiply it with 1.5, and you're gonna be getting extra 15 attack because of with everyone and how her weapon functions. So definitely pretty reliant on buffs, so she's definitely gonna be quite vulnerable to panic and stuff like that. But if you could get around that, then my god, she's gonna hit like a truck and she's gonna be such a fast unit. She already comes with attack speed push 4, and rally up speed is also something which we didn't have before, so that's something. Aerobatics has got pretty good synergy with her slotty skill, because you want to be adjacent to an ally, basically start adjacent to an ally to get the buff to your defense and resistance, which is further going to be boosting your attack stat. So very powerful unit honestly, but at the end of the day she's a dragon, and a flying dragon at that. Unlike Grima, she doesn't really nullify any kind of bow weakness, and a green dragon means that stuff like the Thrucia Deidra Julia can definitely dunk on her. So here's their harmonized skill, and probably the best harmonized skill so far, I would say, because this basically provides you with a free dance without wasting your turn. So it grants another action to the ally with the highest HP that is within 2 spaces and who has already acted. And of course this is only going to be applying to the titles of these harmonized heroes, and even dancers can be granted this effect, which is just so insane. And then the resonance blades effect is going to be giving extra attack and speed. Like, I could definitely see this having use with stuff like Gale Force, Elliewood, and like Hit and Run, Brave Lynn, or Luis, or Rat really. So this kind of harmonized skill is definitely going to be pretty busted. Now of course it is going to be limited to the units from those titles, so not everyone can benefit off of this. And we already know the stats of these units because it is shown for a brief moment. So young Tiki does have the trainee bonus like she always does, and she does have really good attack and speed. Base 42 speed is really fast, and base 39 attack is also really strong, and then she could get so much attack. Her bulk isn't really something too impressive, but it's decent enough, I guess. So she's gonna be nuking this poor red dragon, absolute overkill, and that is gonna be the banner units that we have this time. So the free unit that we're going to be getting from the Tempest trial is going to be Ena, or Ina, however you want to pronounce her name. We do see her in this trailer here. She is a red infantry dragon, as you could see, which is to be expected out of her. And we do know what kind of skills and weapon that she's going to come with. Pale Breath Plus is basically opposite of Dheginsea's Breath. So instead of working away from the allies, Ena's Breath works when she's within 2 spaces of the ally, and it doesn't really provide you with the in-combat debuff like Dheginsea's Breath. Instead, it gives you +5 attack and defense, and it also neutralizes penalties to attack and defense of Ena, or the unit who's using this breath. So it's basically like Carrot Cudgel for a breath. She's got Swap, Defense Res Link, and Ward Dragons. Ward Dragons was only locked to 5-star exclusives before this, so it's a pretty niche skill, but now it's going to be available on free-to-play unit. And Defense Res Link was already available on Sigrin, I believe. So that's another repeat, I guess. So she is going to be appearing in the Tempest trial on the Friday. So let me know what you think about these units in the comment section down below. These dragon units that we have got in the Halloween banner. Dragon units have it pretty tough right now with how many units can have effective damage against them. So let me know how you think about these units. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their constant support. It really means a lot. And if you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously. And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Halloween Grima when she sees Halloween Grima's stats and skills. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.